Did you know Amazon made a game engine? Yes, that Amazon, one of the richest companies in human history, owned by this guy. They tried to take on Unity and Unreal. They had unlimited money, top engineers, and the entire Amazon cloud behind them. And yet, almost nobody uses their engine today. It never took off. Today, it's even been given away as open source. So how does a company that dominates the internet fail to build a game engine? This is the story of Lumberyard, and why money isn't enough to build something people actually want. So to understand why Lumberyard failed, we first have to understand why it was made in the first place. In the mid-2010s, Amazon wasn't just an online store anymore. They ran a massive part of the internet through the AWS, Amazon Web Services. They had just bought Twitch, the heart of live streaming, and they were quietly building their own game studios. Amazon wanted to move deeper into the gaming industry, but something was missing. They were selling servers, they owned a streaming platform, they were making games, but the one thing that they didn't control was the tool used to make the games. What if there was a game engine that made it easier to use Amazon's already existing services? So in 2015, Amazon made a move. They licensed CryEngine, one of the most visually impressive game engines in the world that at the time were in need of financial support. So Amazon forked off the game engine and began turning it into their own. A year later, they revealed it. Amazon Lumberyard, a high-end engine targeted for AAA games, completely free with built-in cloud services and deep Twitch integration, whatever that means. This wasn't just meant to be another engine. Lumberyard was supposed to be the engine that funneled the whole industry into the Amazon's ecosystem. Games that lived on Amazon servers, games shaped by live streams. And on paper, it was a dream for Amazon, and convenient and innovative for developers. At the time, Unity dominated indie development and Unreal powered many of the biggest games in the world, but both had weaknesses. Specifically, the online integration demanded a lot of work from the developers. Amazon believed they could fix that. A game engine with seamless online integration, backed by one of the richest companies in human history. If anyone could challenge Unity and Unreal, it was Amazon. And for a moment, it really looked like they might. So what went wrong? People who actually worked on Lumberyard later described Amazon as slow, bureaucratic, and disconnected from how game development actually works. There was money, there were people, but everything took forever. Decisions, changes, iterations. Because a company that big doesn't move in a straight line. If you want to change something, you have to talk to your boss, who talks to another boss, who brings it to a meeting, and by the time the answer comes back, the moment is already gone. Game engines don't survive like that. They survive by moving fast, by reacting to feedback, and by adapting constantly. Lumberyard wasn't being built inside a game studio. It was being built inside a corporation. It was getting clear that Lumberyard didn't exist only to help developers make better games. It also existed to pull more people into Amazon's ecosystem. At the start of 2016, it was finally time for Lumberyard to face the real world. It was released into the wild for developers to try it out, and now it's ultimately revealed that money wasn't enough to succeed. The engine was promoted, displayed at conferences, and promising a lot. So some studios tried it, indie devs experimented with it, and for some reason, many people quickly left. They talked about confusing workflow, incomplete tools, systems that changed before replacements were ready. Lumberyard wasn't unusable, but it was not irresistible, which ultimately led to the majority of developers sticking to their old familiar tools. So what was missing? Discussion, tutorials, a community. Success isn't built by making a strong product. Success is built by tailoring a product for a specific customer. Amazon had not listened to the public, had not built a strong community to stand on. If you Google Amazon Lumberyard, you're met with people just asking about it, trying to understand what it is, asking for opinions. Clearly, Amazon hadn't reached the audience. And inside Amazon, things didn't improve. They had trouble shipping. One of their biggest products built with the Lumberyard engine, Crucible, was launched but cancelled only a few months after release. This really speaks for itself. When the company who made the engine failed to publish a game that was going to show how good their system really is, it shows that something is deeply flawed. Slowly, Lumberyard stopped feeling like a challenger. It gave more questions than answers. Who is this engine really for? Indie devs had Unity, AAA studios had Unreal and their own technology, so the community Lumberyard really needed never formed. By the early 2020s, it was clear Lumberyard wasn't becoming what Amazon had hoped. But they didn't shut it down, they did something much more interesting. In 2021, Amazon took Lumberyard and gave it away. They removed their license, open sourced the project, and handed it to the Linux Foundation under the new name Open 3D Engine. It's available today. Lumberyard didn't fail because Amazon was weak. It failed because ecosystems doesn't grow from top to bottom. You need a steady foundation, a great community to listen and adapt to. That's how you succeed. It's very risky to try and funnel people into an already existing ecosystem by creating tools that hopefully fit the users. You can't buy a community, you have to earn it. Amazon did make a game engine. What they didn't manage to make was a community. And in the end, that mattered more than all the money in the world.